In those days, in the year 2020, in the country of England, an edict was passed that everyone should return to their hometown and socially isolate in their own bubble. So Joseph had to leave where he was and travel to Etheldredham in the county of Cambridgeshire.
O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above thy deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by. Yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight.
He went there to be with his fiancée Mary, who was expecting a child. Arriving in Cambridgeshire, they could not find anywhere to stay as all the hotels and bed and breakfast facilities were in lockdown. Needing to find somewhere to rest, as Mary was very pregnant, they found a stable on George Street, close to Jesus Green in Cambridge. Just as they had themselves comfortable, the time came for the baby to be born, and Mary gave birth to her firstborn, a son. The owner of the stable heard the singing and came to see them with her baby son, William. She brought a baby grow with her for the baby. "This fits William," she said, "so it should be okay for your baby too." And there were shepherds living out in the Glenfields nearby, keeping and watching over their flocks at night. An angel appeared to them and said, "Do not be afraid, I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today, in the town of Etheldredham, a baby has been born, and you will find him snuggled in a baby grow in a stable on George Street." When the angel had left them, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Etheldredham and see this thing that has happened." They'd have loved to stop down the local pub, Hunton's Down the Valley, where you could often hear the locals singing, but it too was closed as a consequence of the national lockdown. Just outside of Cambridge, they passed a field full of reindeer, both the buck and doe.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose.
little light for Rudolph. Joy in the day. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you get that sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him, as he shouted out their sleigh. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. You'll go down in history.
At the same time as the shepherds, some wise men were also travelling to see the baby. Just on the outskirts of Cambridge, they were stopped by the police, who were concerned that their journey was not essential. Once the wise men had explained that they were following the star to find a baby, the police said, "No problem, all is well," and let them get on their way.
Stop. Wait.
Yes, wait a minute, Mr. Policeman. Wait, Mr. Policeman. Please, Mr. Policeman, look and see. Oh, yes, we are following a star to find a baby. Please, Mr. Policeman. Why is it taking such a long time? Oh, yeah!
The shepherds and the wise men arrived at the stable at the same time, having sanitized their hands and put on their masks. They stood at the door of the stable. After knocking on the door, they left their gifts on the floor and took photos as Joseph answered the door and collected the parcels.
Kings of Orient are bearing gifts, we travel so far. Fields and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Star of wonder, star of light, star with royal beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
We, three kings of Orient are, bearing gifts, the birds of far, fields and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Break it down.